Hello, hello. Hi, Tash. How are ya? Hi, hi, hi. So I thought I'd come on today and just talk a little bit about the colors for the stitch along. So I'm not bothered if people come to watch live at the moment because I'm going to save it and put it on YouTube just in case people want to watch later. So for the stitch along, I've kind of pulled all of the colors again that I've used and kind of put them in different sections. So I've got all the greens at the top and then all of the colored flowers kind of around. So I'm just going to talk a minute. It's not going to be a long live video. But I just want to talk a little bit about how you can choose your colors and some kind of tricks that I did to get them, or tricks that I can tell you to get them like this, if that makes any sense. Okay, so I started with all of the flowers initially. So you have a couple suggestions, or a couple, I can't talk yesterday and today, you know. A couple tips and tricks for choosing your colors for your flowers. Hi from Argentina. Hello. So Tash says those blue and pink flowers are my faves. These ones. I went a little renegade with those, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so for these, choose whether you want one color or two colors for all your flowers. I tried to use a lot of colors, so I chose two, and I just chose a light and dark color of, or light and dark shade of the same-ish color. So these are just like a bluish purple. They've got just a tint of purple in them. This one looks more purple than it does in real life, but they are blue. So that's with those. With these ones, I just chose some nice bright ones, so not anything tricky there. And then this one is just one color for these three little flowers. The roses, I chose just one color. And then these ones, I chose three, but I swapped them for the big one and the little one. I don't have the color numbers, Tash, so she's just said, will you share the color numbers you've chosen in case people want to do the same colors that I've done? No, I don't have any of the color numbers because I just pulled random colors from my stash, but in the PDF, there is a picture of all of them, so you can take it with you to Hobbycraft or Joann Fabrics or Michael's, wherever you get your threads from, and you can color match what they're like. Yeah, I suppose I could do it if we're going to go that way anytime soon. But yeah, so for these ones, I chose three colors that looked quite bright and colorful, and then I just swapped them for each. And then I always try to use, for the details, colors from other flowers. So in the middle, I used this color for the satin stitch in the middle, and then for the French knots I used this color. So it kind of helps to keep your color palette all the same. You know, use the colors in different ways in different areas. And so for these ones, I just used these two colors again, and then I used the little French knots, this one. So I kind of like to mix and match all the colors together. So use a little bit of this color flower in this one and that one, and therefore it looks a bit more uniform. So what I'm going to do now is just pull a couple different suggestions for each of the flowers, and then maybe put them into a little color palette for you. So maybe instead of the blues, you want to use purple. So again, just a dark and light purple, or maybe some pinks, a dark and light pink. And after I'm all finished, I'll put a picture of all of them because I think that that's my number one downfall for sure with making patterns, is that I don't put the numbers on the thing, on the clothespins. So although these are great, I often forget that part. So I'm really sorry. So yeah, so I've done this one, and I'll take those away and maybe do a blue for the outside. So we've got maybe some purples, some blues. Good morning, Lucy. And that's as far as I got with the pulling colors. But yeah, like, I purposely didn't put like the color numbers on there because I feel like the whole point of the stitch along isn't necessarily to do exactly the same. Like, pull whatever colors that you like and which ones that you think will work well. And just have a bit of fun, like maybe some yellow roses, and then instead of those two, so this one would be these colors here. So after I pick them, I like to kind of put them all down at the bottom and just have a look and see do I need to sub any lighter ones out, dark. Tash said, oh my God, yes, yellow roses. I think these would look so pretty and look, they'd pop out so much, don't you think? Or coral, that would be so pretty too, she says. Yes. So like I've already picked kind of a lot of oranges. So maybe I'll sub another color for this. And this is just how I pick all of them. I just kind of pull and pick until I get the right ones. So don't feel bad if you're like sat in Hobbycraft like on the floor. So these two, if I did purples for those flowers, maybe blue on the outside and pink in the middle. I'm not a big fan of this color, we'll see. And then these three and that. I think that's quite nice. Or maybe that one, keep it a bit more bright. But yeah, that's the formula. That's the way to choose the colors. And then for the greens, I did a mixture of light and dark. So for these, just really any kind of green. Tash, I have to dash, but this is gorgeous. Thanks for coming and having a little chat, Tash. You're the best. And it was her birthday yesterday. So that's kind of how I pick the colors. Kind of choose the flowers first and then kind of figure out where to put the dark ones, where to put the light ones. And then for the greens are a little bit trickier. And that's only because you kind of have to get them to go with the colors that you've chosen. So for the greens, I just did light colors for this. So these three. And then I did dark and the yellowy green for this one. Super dark for a couple. So again, I used the same colors for a couple different ones to kind of make it all go together. And then just some mid-tone greens for all the rest. Not too bright, not too crazy. Again, reusing the colors for different areas. So I'll post in my stories a couple different color palettes, just in case you would like to go to the shops and get something that's similar. And like I said, unfortunately, you will have to go and try to color match. Hello. you will have to go in color match because, hi Melissa, I haven't written all of the names on there. So with this one, I'm using a lot of my old threads that I have. So I'm sure that you've seen them before, but this is how I store them. They're all in warm colors, cool colors, and then neutrals. And when I first got them, it was like 4 or 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. And I wasn't really concerned with putting numbers on because I wasn't really interested in making patterns or stitch alongs or anything like that. It was kind of just, I'm going to do it by myself, have a go, have a bit of fun, and that will be all right. But now that I do the patterns, I'm kind of angry that I didn't put more numbers on there. So like this one is 666, which is the red. But yeah, so I'm really sorry for all of the patterns. Normally I take them in a plastic bag like this to Hobbycraft, and then I go and match each color in the shop, and then I put all the colors back just so I can take a picture and get all the numbers. So yeah, I do apologize for not having all of the color numbers on there, but I will give you a couple different palettes today, pictures of them, at least in stories, so you can screenshot which ones that you like, and then you can try to match them. But yeah, so if you're just joining, I was just giving some tips and tricks on how to pick your colors and how many colors that you'll need. So I think I have 11 colorful colors. Yeah. And 9 different greens. You don't need that many if you don't want to. For example, I chose to do 2 colors here. You don't have to. You can do just 1 color if you want. And that's the same with all the details and the decorations. If you want just 1 color for these flowers, just use 1 color. Don't stress out, especially if you don't have the budget maybe, or you don't have threads at home, so you have to buy them all new. Don't be stressed. It's totally fine. So yeah, if you had to do even all of it 1 color, that's fine too. Like, I feel like the most important part is to learn the stitches, to learn something new, have a bit of fun. Obviously, like the community, check the hashtag, which is hashtag the Barmy Fox SAL. I used it for the last one as well, so I thought I'd keep the same one going. Comment on each other's videos and pictures if you want to do videos. Hopefully you'll post your progress. So yeah, it's mostly for that. So don't stress out too much about colors. Melissa says, what is the inspiration behind this pattern? So it's the summer stitch along. So I'm thinking summer, flowers, a greenhouse, just like colorful and fun, I think. Yeah. It was quite nice making it, and I thought I could get a lot of different stitches in there. Some of them will use more than once, so if you can obviously see, there's a lot of satin stitch in there. But I think with some stitches, you really do need to practice them. So it's not just to do it for 10 minutes one time and forget about it. Like, come back to it, practice again, have another go, and you'll figure out if you like 6 strands or 3 strands or 2 strands or 1 strand or whatever. So yeah, so there's that. The other thing I'm going to talk about really quickly, because I've got about 6 messages about fabric, and the fabric it's not that important because you can really stitch on anything, I promise you, as long as it's not stretchy, because stretchy clothes, they'll probably give you some troubles with this one. However, I do have some, where did I put it? Here we go. So this is what some samples of the fabrics that I use. So this is just a white cotton. That's what I stitched on here. It's exactly the same. Well, thanks. Stitches by Mike says it's gorgeous, and Melissa says totally agree. And for anybody who doesn't know, I do like repeat the comments because when I put it on YouTube, people will know what's happening. Because otherwise it will just be me answering the questions and no one will know what the question is. Right, so I just use a plain 100% cotton. I think this is curtain lining, actually, or what they call here curtain lining. But it's just 100% cotton. You can see it's not super tightly woven, but it is tight. I also like to stitch on this, what's it called? Like a muslin, and it's just like an off-white color. It's got the little specks in it. Jesse, you cannot go outside because David's mowing the lawn. You cannot go out. So just lay down. So that's about the same kind. It's a little bit thicker, and it's an off-white color. Calico. I thought it was calico, but then in my head I was like, I don't know if that's the right word. But yeah, it's quite nice, this one. The other thing I like to stitch on is a linen or a linen blend. You can see that this is the stitch along from before. It is a looser weave, so your needle goes through the fabric much easier. So you can see it's very, very, very easy, very loosely woven. Whereas these ones, it's a little bit more difficult to go through because it's a tighter woven fabric, and you can see the holes that I've just punched, which is totally fine. They won't leave the holes. You can just run your needle over it like this in the two directions, and that will be all right. And then this one is exactly the same. So there you go. I'll save this and put it on YouTube, and then I'll put a couple different color palettes. Again, they won't have the numbers on them, but it shouldn't be too difficult to run to the shops and match them if you really, really need to. But again, it's not that serious for the colors. Yeah, but I'll put them up there anyways. Tomorrow I'll pop on probably at 10 again, if I can get there at 10. Jessie has a vet appointment, so I have to check what time that is to get her vaccinations. But I'll try to pop on at 10 tomorrow, England time, so that you can see me hoop the fabric and transfer the pattern on there. So if anybody needs help with that, I'll help with that as well. So this is a 6-inch hoop that I finished, and then the one that I'm going to be doing for the stitch along will be an 8-inch hoop. So it will be bigger for comparison. This is 8 and this is 6. So it will be bigger. So hopefully you'll be able to see the stitches better. Okay. So I'll put a text box to ask questions in my stories today. So then if you have any other questions, you can pop them on there and I'll answer some more before the weekend, just in case you had some extra time to go out and get some materials or hoops or colors or whatever before the weekend. And yeah, I think that's it for me. Just wanted to pop on and talk about the colors. I don't think it's necessarily that helpful. But yeah, you're so welcome. Meg says, thanks, Tori. There's something else I was going to say. Now I can't forget, or I can't remember. I forget. I think that's it. Oh yeah, could you please share the stitch along in your stories or on your Instagram sometime, or on your Facebook or wherever? That would be super helpful, because I feel like the more people that we get involved, the more people we can repost and we can see everyone's progress and what colors they chose. It was super fun in February to comment on everyone's stuff. So if you could give it a share, that would be super, super, super helpful. Melissa's just said, wait, did you say to use a 6-inch hoop or a bit larger? So this one is 6, so you can see how big it is. And the one I'm going to use is 8. So in the pattern, I've sized it for, I think, a 6-inch or an 8-inch, or maybe 6, 7, 8, I can't remember. I'm going to use a larger one just because I'll be able to show all of the stitches a little bit better with a bigger space. But I would not recommend going smaller than 6 because of all of the details in here. So especially this bit here got quite congested with my needle, you know, trying to do the satin stitches and all the little details and stuff. And you know what I'm like, I'll probably end up doing more stitches with the bigger one because I'll find more space and I'll think, oh, I can just fit some more in here, can't I? But yeah. So I would suggest 6 or 8. I was going to do 10 as well, but it doesn't fit on the paper when you print it. Okay, so I'll be back on tomorrow to talk about the fabric a little bit more and to show you how to put the fabric in the hoop really tight, especially if you have a wonky hoop. So I believe it's this one. Had a hole, a gap. So I'll show you how you can use some tape to sort that out. And then, yeah, to transfer your pattern onto the hoop a couple different ways. Have a great day, and I'll talk with you tomorrow. Bye.